My name is Harrison Jennings, and this semester I worked as part of the RMIT QVM partnership with Redbird Moments, who are a local manufacturer of boutique homewares.
I'm Peter Topping, and I was the mentor for Harrison and Redbird's Moment as part of the QVM project.
So for me, this project really gave me an opportunity to gain some practical real-world experience outside of my studies. And so for me, really what attracted me to the program was that real-world experience and getting that experience in stakeholder management and working with a real client and developing those negotiation and problem-solving skills, which I think for me will give me a competitive edge moving forward when I move out into industry, to have already some experience with developing and maintaining those profitable client relationships.
I think the most valuable thing was that it helps with your self-belief and everything. Everyone is extraordinarily generous. The customers are extraordinarily generous. The students are extraordinarily generous. The program was really good. Some of the things that we do in the real world are actually really valid. Sometimes you feel that you're living in a bit of a digital bubble, and especially in marketing. And so it was very confirming and very rewarding.
So for me, not having much practical experience as of yet, it was a really great opportunity to develop some technical skill with social media platforms and ad management, content creation, but also just in developing that understanding of what the client's needs were and actually working through some really complex problems that my client was facing. We were able to really develop some great solutions. So I think for a small business whose resources are perhaps quite limited, the opportunity to work with a student, and I can speak for myself only here in saying that I'm extremely passionate and really hardworking. And so the opportunity for me to give as much as I can back to the program was something that I think really benefited my client a lot. And so by having a student who's able to willingly take on some tasks that they themselves perhaps weren't ready to navigate, I think really gave value back to the client as part of the partnership.
I think in a small business the opportunity sometimes to engage in social media is quite risky. It's a substantial expense, and often they don't have the knowledge, skills and experience to know what they're talking about. With the student environment, it's quite a safe environment for them to explore their opinions without feeling that they need to know more than they need to know. And it's also okay to get it wrong, it's okay to change your mind. And so I think that what you do is you build knowledge, skills, experience and capacity within small businesses so that they can actually, in the future, perhaps take a formal step themselves with an agency. So I think it's invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter was fantastic through this whole process. In the beginning, I was a little bit apprehensive, not sure how to approach the client and how to start managing these relationships and building some trust between us so we could get some things going. But Peter was fantastic in facilitating the relationship and providing advice on how I conduct myself and the strategies that I developed as well. Peter was excellent.
I think a business mentor is important because the real world and the student world are quite different. The student world is quite abstract, and if you put the student with the customer and there's no one there who's actually knows how an agency operates or knows some of the challenges that you have as an agent, then it's really difficult to be able to impart to the student the fact that in the real world the client can't answer all the questions, the client doesn't know, the client needs a range of options, and the client can say no. And so I think that's what happens in real life, and having someone between the customer, in this case who's not very experienced, and the student who's new, helps to bring some of those experiences from the real world into play in the course. Well, in Harrison's case, just about everything. I think that what he did is he showed them that they were one step away from success. They had a really good product, they had a really good idea, and they had a really good platform, and that you could put it out on YouTube, you could put it out on Instagram, you could run a pre-Christmas marketing campaign, you could customize those campaigns for all the niches that we identified between us. So I think that the challenge for small business is the great leap forward, and what Harrison delivered them was a package which said, you're ready to go, do it. So I think that's what the advantage was.